now welcoming a 9-time, that might be a record on this set, 9-time Pro Bowler.
Mr. Raider himself.
And Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't want to put that one down the list. It's Tim Brown. Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
We're doing great. I know you're joining us on behalf of Caden Wood and their Level Select CBD Cream and Roll-On. Why don't you tell us what you're doing with them?
Yeah, man. I was first approached by this about 6 months ago, and I was like, hey guys, hold up. I've never indulged on the other side of this, if you know what I mean. So, they said, look, Tim, it says no THC. I was like, all right, but we did our research, man, had folks to check them out. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff. And the one thing that I was impressed with was that they own their own farms. So they're able to make sure the products are super clean. And with that, I tried the products, man. I was really blown away how great they felt. I have, all these little knick-knack injuries over the years, and, just putting it on here. My wife's like, okay, maybe that's enough for the night, all right? But, right now they're doing a little program, man, where you buy one, get one 50% off. And as you can see, they have levels. They have level 1, 2, and 3. I'm a level 2. You guys look like level 1 guys. Don't look like you have much going on.
I won't shy away from the level 3. Yeah, it's okay.
So level 3 is, you got some stuff happening, that you need to get done. So they have the cream, they have the oil drops, and they also have a roll-on, which that's what I use. So incredible products.
You mentioned a few nicks and knacks that you might get. Can I take you to your final season, 2004 with the Bucs? And I so hope that this question doesn't fall flat. I think I did my research. That your quality control coach on the offensive side of the ball was Kyle Shanahan. Is that correct?
Kyle was, he was the assistant wide receiver coach.
Any memories of a very young Kyle Shanahan, like in his first coaching role at the time?
You knew that this guy was going to
Even then.
I'm sorry?
I said even then.
Yeah, you knew that he was going to be, because he worked almost too hard. He double, triple checked everything that you were supposed to do. Richard Mann was a receiver coach, but he was in every meeting. And he was a guy running the papers, doing all that stuff, putting the stuff on the board. And you can see that he had part of his dad in him, even at that young age. So did I know he was going to be a head coach one day? No, I can't say that. But at the same time, you knew that he was going to be a guy who was going to succeed in this business if he kept that kind of work ethic.
And if I remember also correctly, your quarterback in the 2004 season, or a quarterback on that roster, was NBC Sports' own Chris Sims.
That's exactly right.
Give us a little dirt on Chris Sims.
Yeah, I felt bad for Chris because, Gruden was not easy on him at all. And that was the year that he had the spleen. And, and that was
Panthers.
Yes, that was an ugly situation, So, I think Chris was a guy that really wanted to do well. And I think in different time, different situation, maybe he would have. But I think things are just moving too fast at that particular point. It was hard for him to really catch on to what was going on.
And he looked better back then. You could say it. It's okay. No big deal. Your time in Oakland was a rare case where two of the greatest receivers of all time, in my opinion, overlapped. Was there something you plucked from Jerry Rice? Because it's not often you can look over and say, oh, someone of equal talent next to me, and Jerry Rice and you just side by side together.
Well, I appreciate you saying equal talent, but Jerry was the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time, and that's something that I don't think anybody at this particular point will ever dispute. The great thing about our relationship that we realized after being on the practice field for 2 days together is that we were totally different football players. I was a guy, I used to call him the pretty guy, right? He wanted to be out there with his long towel, long socks, and I'm in there in the middle in the slot banging into the linebackers and the safeties the whole time.
He's the pretty guy. I bang around.
You're doing the dirty work.
I'm doing all the dirty work, and so there wasn't much that I tried to learn from him from that standpoint. The way he ran routes was totally different than the way I ran routes. But the one thing I loved about him was, when it came to working out and those kind of things, you were not going to beat him, And even at 40 years old, he was going to be the first one down the field, the first one in the weight room, and that was something that I found to be very impressive.
What's one example of the difference between the styles of route running you did?
Well, I was a guy who loved man-to-man coverage. I love a guy next to me so I can feel him when I separated from him. And Jerry liked the opposite. He liked for guys to be off of him. Now, he was great versus man-to-man man coverage too, bump and run. But if Jerry could at 40 years old run a comeback on you that would make your head spin.
Kill you, yeah.
So I think that's a lot easier to do when a guy is 5 yards off of you. So that's just the way we were. And we started to reminisce, like, man, we could have done this for 20 years. We could, And
what about the changes in the rules? We were talking about this with Anquan Bolden recently. That you played in a time when they mugged you
all
the way down the field.
It should be rape charges for some of the things they did.
And now they can't touch you more than 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, it's really sad, man. Now even with that, would have been so bad. In the 10-year run I had with the Raiders from '93 to 2002, where I led the team in receptions and touches and looks and all that stuff. In those 10 years, I only got 5 pass interference calls.
That's it. 10 years.
Now, I was a real bad boy, or there was something going on. And I'd say it was the opposite. It was the latter. It was, the fact that I just never got calls because, we were the Raiders at the time and people hated us.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I think from that standpoint, man, to be able to run as freely as these guys run now, it's really, really remarkable.
When I think about you, obviously, you're talking about slot work and doing all the dirty work. I also think about speed, Tim.
Yeah.
When I think about speed now, I think about a team that's playing on Sunday.
Right. That's a different kind of
Chiefs.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes launching passes to track athletes
Yeah.
like Tyreek Hill, like Mecole Hardman. What do you think when you watch a team like that, where if a quarterback holds the ball for 3.5 seconds, if his offensive line gives him time, he's got these guys that it's impossible to cover for that long?
It's really tough on defenses, man. I don't know if there's ever been a team assembled with this kind of deep speed talent, because Watkins is no slouch himself.
Right.
I mean,
and Travis Kelce, the tight end.
Yeah, and I was going to bring him up too. And Watkins was brought in this league to be a number one receiver. So if they have to, if you double the other two guys and you have to go with Watkins, well, okay, well by then he's playing your fifth DB or something. So I just find it impossible, man. If these guys don't slip, if they don't drop a ball, I just don't know. And with the rules being the way they are, what are you going to do? There's really literally nothing you can do.
Even besides those rules, you still played long, prosperous 16-year career. What is the number one piece of advice you usually give to younger wideouts when they reach out for guidance or for help?
To me, first of all, you have to love the game. And if you love the game, man, you got to put the work in. You have to. I can honestly say, I had 16 years with the Raiders, 1 year with Tampa, that if I was scheduled to work out, I worked out. And I never missed a workout. Now, there were days I would be able, Monday mornings I would wake up with my calendar and be able to say, these 2 days I'm traveling or whatever, and I didn't work out. But if it was on my calendar to work out, I worked out. I found a way to work out every day. I tried to do it at the same time, 7:30, 8 o'clock every morning. And, and it became such a part of who I was that working out by yourself, when you get with your teammates and now you're doing stuff, it's a lot easier because you feed off of
built
them
the habit
with the energy. So I think for me, man, that's what I'm so proud of is it didn't take people, prodding me to get it done. I was willing to go out there and put the work in, even when I could have very said, "Oh yeah, I worked out today," but didn't do it.
What was your reaction when you saw John Gruden go back into coaching, going back in the?
I was shocked. I always thought that he would go back into coaching, but I had no idea that Mark Davis had this love fest with him. That
infatuation.
It was
10-year infatuation.
100 mil.
100 million. In fact, yeah. I think John's more excited about the 100 million than 10 years. But I think, man, that I was shocked. And I got the call from Gruden right after that, and I think he is really trying his best, man, to right the wrong from years ago, and even though it wasn't his fault. And I think he wants to see this team win a championship. I don't care what year that happens. I think he may retire if that happens. I think he is so into winning for the Raiders that, if he was even to get it done before year 10, I think that would be good enough for him.
Lots of links with Tom Brady, too, this offseason. I don't know if you've seen those.
It's going to be
That's
interesting.
One.
Well, at least Tom can do is come and help us after we helped him, some 20 years ago. So that's the least he could do. So
but get the zebras on your side as well.
Right, exactly.
We barely asked you about the game on Sunday. If you could you pick a piece of paper,
all right,
read it out loud, answer the question for everyone else out there watching?
All right,
listening.
The question is 54 rushing yards for Raheem Mostert Mustard, more or less.
That's the 49ers back.
Yeah, 31, number 31.
There you go.
If they're going to win this game, I think he has to have more than 54 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this, if they can get a lead early in this game, they need to pound the run. Pound it as much as they possibly can. And because Kansas City's run defense is not the best.
Yep.
And that's coming from a wide receiver. So it's a true game plan. A true game plan.
That's only because I'm not playing the game. If I was playing the game, it would be something
Pass.
Right, no doubt.
Tim, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
Appreciate you.
Man.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.